It's that time once again. Today we are back with my thoughts on the Roblox Games event. We did this with the Hunt. Did we do this with the Classic event? Yes, I did. I did do it with the Classic event, and now we're doing it with the games. So we're going to start with the positives. We're going to go to the negatives. I've got quite a lot to say about this event. Before we start, I just want to say I've got a little bit of a different setup. I'm using like a gimbal for this. It just makes the setup so much better because before I had to lower my chair a lot. It's just uncomfortable. So if you notice any issues, let me know in the comments, regardless of what it is. And I will try and work on it for next time. I'm just testing because I just want to make this a better experience because it's quite uncomfortable beforehand. So yeah, make sure to let me know. So let's begin with the positives for this event, and I'll start by saying that the logo is pretty nice. Okay, it's a good logo that it's got. It's got the ribbons. It's on like a little island on a platform. It's a cool logo, and if you compare it to the Hunt and the Classics logos, it's definitely the best one. The idea of teams, not the execution. We'll get to that a little bit later on in the other segment, but the idea of having team captains, all of them being YouTubers, is a smart idea. It is cool. It can kind of allow the players to kind of resonate with the YouTuber and really make it feel like you're part of their team and you're working with them. It's a cool fan to creator experience, and I like that, and it makes it a bit different. With the Hunt, it was kind of the return of events, kind of like an egg hunt replacement. Classic, it was like old Roblox. Now we've got the games and the team concept. It's a good idea to make it stand out. Of course, this wouldn't be an event without games, and this is actually a positive thing for me. The amount of games they've chosen is good. The Hunt had 10, the Classic had 15, this one has 50, 50. I think it's a little bit much, but it still is good. It's better than 15 and it's better than 100. I think maybe 30 to 40 would be good. I think the next event might be Halloween themed, so if it is, I think 33 would be a cool little, you know, like 66 or 33. I think 33 is less, so I feel like that'd be better, but 50 still works. It's still good. And of course, the place we're in right now, the hub, I think it's very cool. You've got the main area, of course, you've got the boss fight, you've got certain quests that you complete. The quests are back. I like that. That's cool. The portals, it's a lot better than the Hunt's one, which was pretty much just the portals and the leaderboards. I don't think though it's as good as the Classics one. I think Classic was probably the best one. It's cool. It's a good use of the hub with the quests. It's incorporated well. I just think I prefer the Classic a little bit more. There's two more positives that I have, and the next one is the number of rewards. I actually think it's really good, the amount of rewards. In terms of silver alone, you can see we have 7. One of them, as I'm recording this, isn't available. It might be by the time this video releases, but there will be 7 rewards for silver, which is amazing. We also had 5 launcher items. We'll get onto them later, but there's still 5 of them. I believe there were 4 or 5 of these Robux ones. They're not available anymore, but there were Robux items. Still not a big fan of them, but you know, I've kind of gotten used to them now. That's why they're not going to be on the negatives list. So we still had some of them. They were a lot cheaper this time as well, so that's good. And then if you beat the boss fight over here, which we might as well talk about now because it's my next point, the boss fight, which was amazing, by the way, you get a free item from that, and that kind of adds to the rewards list. There's tons of rewards, a lot more than I think in the other events, which is good. Okay, there's actually a reason to get this event with the amount of items. It's a nice amount, very good. And the boss here released last night, very fun, very good, very easy, very simple, but it looks absolutely incredible. There were some secrets. There's a cave you can go into. There's a hidden egg for like the egg hunt next year, I assume it is. It's cool. It's very fun. If you recall for the previous events, at the end of the Hunt, there was this rocket and it landed and that opened the infinite egg if you had 100 badges, and then it was nerfed to 95. With the Classic, there was another, there was a boss fight just like this one, but it wasn't any good. It was just like this little lab. You're fighting with a sword and you get a credit scene. That's not fun. So this one was so much better. It's definitely the best kind of end of event thing, and as I said earlier, we have another reward still to get. We also have the Legendary Sky Champion bundle. We had 2 bundles for the Classic event. I think they were more expensive. This one's 5,000, but you get the bling track included, and I forgot to mention that with the rewards. You still get the bling track. So yeah, not bad it seems right now, you know, but that's the end of the positives list. So everything next is gonna be bad. I started with the logo for the positives. We're gonna talk about the name of the event for the negatives. Definitely the worst event name we've had so far, the games. I think it's based on the Olympic Games because you've got the teams and you had, you know, it started just after the Olympics. It's going to end just after the Olympics ends. I get why they've called it the games, but it's just too confusing. Like if you talk to a normal person, you're going to say like, oh, there's a games event on right now. They're going to be like, oh, games. So you play games for a games event. They're like, yeah, and you choose a team. And if your team wins the games, then you get something. And you're like, winning in the game or the event, the games, you know, because no one says experiences. That's probably Roblox's justification for it. They think people are going to say experiences. Everyone says games. It's Roblox games, not Roblox experiences. So calling it the games is just a little bit complicated. It's not a terrible point though, but what really annoys me is this. The leaderboard. Now you see there are 4,380 maximum points, and that's the combined total of silver and shards. That might not seem that bad, but what they did was they locked about 50 of the points away and made it so at the end of the event, a few days after the event started, they unlock. So you can see here, everyone here has 7 days, 0 hours, 2 minutes because the final 30 points was available for defeating the boss. So that kind of ruined the whole point of the leaderboard, really. What it did was it was just out of the people that did all of the games, whoever beats the boss first gets first on the leaderboard. You know, it doesn't really matter that much, but I feel like, no offense to Youth Jeff here, but they didn't complete the 50 games first, so they shouldn't have been on number 1. They shouldn't be there, in my opinion. Also a negative for me is the duration of the event. 10 days, 2 hours to get 50 games where there's silver and shards in both, so there's technically 100 things to do and you get 10 days for it. It's not a lot of time. The hunt was like 14, 15 days, the classic, even though it was less games, it was only 4 days. So it makes sense because there were less games, but it was still way too short. And again, I think this is a little bit too short. I think the sweet spot probably would have been around 17, 16 days, not 10. You could even do 21 days. You could do 3 weeks. Honestly, yeah, no, I think 3 weeks actually is probably the sweet spot for the amount of time. Because, you know, there's a lot to do. And yeah, to be fair, they've been very generous. You only need 550 pieces of silver, so you need to do 55, get 55 silver, basically. That's what you have to do, which is like 20 games, a little under, like 18-ish of the 50 games. But still, people want to do all of them. And if you only give them 10 days to do that, that's quite a lot of work you got to do. And speaking of the games, a lot of them just kind of suck, to be honest. Whether it's the challenge in the game or the game itself. Like, you see these ones that I haven't done. Launch into Space Simulator. Something like Survive the Killer, which was excellent for the hunt event, had a really bad games event challenge. You're very confused. It was just like 3 quests and then find the 5 shines. You know, that's kind of what most of these have done. It's like complete this quest. Once you completed it, you could do the second one. Once you completed it, you could do the third one. And in the middle, you can just find shards just all around the map. That's not very fun. I get the 50s, you know, that could be quite difficult to get a good, diverse and interesting amount of games, but then don't do 50. It's as simple as that. I think there's about 20, maybe 25. I'll say 25 of them are adequate. Whether it's, you know, the game's all right or the challenge is all right. I think about 10 of them are actually good though, but the other 15 I think are okay enough. So, you know, it's just having 50 games and then like over half of them are pretty bad. You know, like, it's just a bit upsetting. I want, personally, to play all of these. That's what I did with the hunt event. I did every single game. I got all 100. With the classic, I did all but 1. And with this one, I might do a few more without doing tutorials on them. But apart from that, I probably won't. And that's a shame, because I feel like you should be excited to do an event. Instead, you're just kind of avoiding games. You're like, oh, this one's boring, let me leave and find a different one. You know, it shouldn't be about that. Every game should be exciting. And the only kind of limitation should be if you're interested in that genre of game. Like, if you don't like shooter games, you might not like the shooter one because it's a shooter game, not because the challenge sucks. I touched on this a little bit, the silver and the shards. You know, you have 3 silver and 5 shards, and it's just quest, find the shards around the map. That's not fun at all. In my opinion, it should be like what it was for the hunt. Just one badge, you do one thing and you get it. It could be really easy, it could be long, it's up to the developers, but it's just one thing. But if they really want to do 2 currencies because of the event hub items, you do 1 silver and 3 shards. That's it. You know, you do 1 challenge for the main silver, just like the hunt, just that 1 challenge, and then you can find 3 shards around the map. That's fine. I mentioned earlier that there's loads of rewards from this event, and that's a good thing, but doesn't mean that they're good. There's quite a lot of them that aren't that good. My next video, literally my next video, is going to be me ranking all of these on a tier list. Every single game's reward is going to be on the tier list, and I'm going to rank them and look at them individually. So I'm not going to say which ones aren't good, so you're going to have to check out that video to find out. Not great in terms of the quality. I think that the classic overall probably had the best in total. This one probably 3rd behind the hunt. Now, I didn't talk about the rewards that are bad just then, but I will talk about the launcher items because they're just shirts. That's it. Look at this. You got, wow, Angry Canary shirt, the Giant Feet shirt, the Pink Warriors one, the Crimson Cats and the Ninjas. These are the launcher items. You know, Star Creator will pick their team, they'll get the launcher for this shirt, and that's what you get. That is so disappointing. And when you pick a team in the games event, you get a cape for that team. What they should have done is given you that cape and given you that launcher item shirt. That's what they should have done. Instead, it feels like they just kind of forgot about the launcher items and then went, oh yeah, we got to do launcher items. We got these shirts that we're going to give them for picking a team. Let's just get rid of that and make them the launcher items. Such a missed opportunity was to do a unique accessory for each of the teams, and they fit a different part of your body. Like the ninjas, you could have done a mask. With the cats, you could have done like a headband or something on your head. The canaries, you could have done wings on your back. The team feet, you could use shoes or like a feet accessory, and then the pink warriors could be like a weapon on your waist, you know, and then you can equip all 5 at the same time. It's such a missed opportunity that they didn't do that. Instead, it was just 5 basic shirts, and no one's even giving them out. It's really hard for me to do it. I literally spent like 24 hours regularly checking, like every hour checking if someone was giving out the shirts. It took me like an entire day to get all 5 of them, because not many people are giving them out. It should be something that people are craving to get, and every single streamer that's streaming giving them out is getting so many views, so many people trying to do it, but instead that's not happening. I've popped off quite a lot, to be honest. I've got one more thing. All right, my final negative, and this is the thing that annoys me the most about this event, and it's something that actually was in my positives. I mentioned it and I said I liked the idea of it, and that was the teams. I said we'd talk about it later, and it's now. It's the balancing of these teams. I showed this in my previous video. On the screen is the combined total sub counts as well as the individual sub counts of everyone on each team. Do you notice something? A, the Crimson Cats have the most amount of subscribers by far, and B, Creekcraft, the member on Crimson Cats, has more subscribers than the team amount of 3 of the other teams. And I think many others, picked Crimson Cats because A, they thought that there was going to be a reward for the winner, and B, they thought that Crimson Cats was going to win because of that fact. And it shouldn't be like that. This, like, no offense to Creek, but maybe he shouldn't have been a part of this event then if he's got so many more subscribers than the other teams. Because I know that they wanted to represent different countries with each team, and I like that idea a lot. But when you've got someone with 10 million and you've got like Angry Canaries with a combined total of 5 because there's no one from like Spain or whatever they're from having that sub count, then maybe he shouldn't have been a part of the event. You know, the sub counts should have been similar. I think the use of the catch-up bonus is actually a really clever idea, to be honest. If there's a team that's losing, you'll see Giant Feet has the highest one because they're 5th. They've got a 21% bonus. So that means they'll earn 21% more than Crimson Cats. So it gives them a little bit of an advantage, but it still doesn't really fix the issue quite, because there's so many people on Crimson Cats. There's so many people grinding it. So overall, this event was alright. I was about to say it's good. It was alright, okay? We'll look back on this and say it was definitely the worst out of the first 3 in almost every area, apart from the ending, really. That was the only thing I can really confidently say was the best with this event. It was the end of it. The fact that, not that the fact that it was over, but the fact that too, but the fact that the boss fight happened and you got the free reward out of that, and as well as that, another free reward that we'll get very soon. But what do you think? Did you play only this event and you really like it? Have you played the past ones? You think this one's the best? Then sure, let me know in the comment section down below. We're very close to 15,000. Hopefully we can hit it this month. That's my target. So yeah, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can make that happen. And also, once again, new setup. You know, if there's something different, mic sounds weird, your face looks weird, hopefully you don't say that, but you know, if there's something, then let me know, please, because I want to improve it. This was a lot more of a comfortable video for me to make. I don't like being so low down. I'm too tall for that, so this is a lot better. So make sure to let me know in the comments if there was anything a little bit different that wasn't to your liking. Thanks so much for watching this video. Really appreciate it. My name is DMD, and as I always say, peace out.